Okay, so before I get on with my kind of analysis slash review of the best game of all time, Spider-Man DS, let me take you back in time. Let me tell you a story, okay? The year is 2010, I think. Could have been 11. 2000. It's 2000 something, okay? I think we're past 2010 at least. And there's a baby Tony, all right, and he lives in the great land of Albania, right next to Kosovo. And he goes to a shopping center with his dad, and his dad buys him what at the time he didn't know what it was called, but it was called an R4 card for his DSi, all right? And on this R4 card, his cousin taught him that he could download ROMs online of any DS game that exists, and he could put them on the SD card, plop it into the R4 card, which would then emulate those games on his DS. Now, this is a very happy moment for Tony because he was a little boy, and his parents didn't buy him many video games because they didn't like him playing games. They thought it was a bit bent. But now he didn't have to, because he could download all the ROMs, all the DS games he wants straight onto his R4 card. But then lightning strikes down Tony's happiness, because his DSi breaks, and there's no way of fixing it. So he just has an R4 card with no, console to play it on, and that upsets Tony very much. Now, what happened is Tony was playing Spider-Man 3, okay, on DS when he was younger, and it upset him because he never ever got to finish Spider-Man 3, and it's haunted him all his life. Now, you may be asking yourself, okay, well, why wouldn't Tony just use an emulator and download the ROMs onto his laptop or PC that he might have? And the answer is because Tony prefers an authentic feel, unlike the cheap, free emulators that you get online to play on PC. See, listen, you play a DS game, right? You want the feel of a DS, all right? That's the whole point. And that's the whole point with the Wii games and fucking the Switch games, all right? You want the feel. It's all about authenticity, all right? And emulators just don't have authenticity. So, after that first R4 card he had, it broke, his DSi broke, and he never, he also lost the SD card of the R4 card, I don't remember. But he never played, he never finished Spider-Man 3 until we skipped to 2021. And Tony's all grown up now, and he's got a job, and he uses money, some of the money he got from his job, to buy a new R4 card and play it on his new 3DS XL that he's had for a couple years now. And then Tony finally finishes Spider-Man 3, and oh boy, does Tony have a lot to say about it. So, I want to start off simple. I don't want to overcomplicate things. Let's talk about the graphics of Spider-Man 3 on the Nintendo DS, all right? Let's just say, modern day ray tracing technology does not hold a candle in any way, shape, or form, right? You look at the graphics of Spider-Man 3 on the DS and you think, Jesus Christ, that looks better than real life, all right? And you look at ray tracing, gameplay of games with ray tracing put on, and you think, Jesus Christ, that looks like shit. Alright, so it's, I don't understand why ray tracing is a thing, because, Spider-Man 3 already had, even better technology back in 2007. Alright, so it's like, what the hell did you make ray tracing for, alright? Clearly this shit already existed, alright? The masterminds over at Nintendo, whoever, Activision, God knows whoever made this game, back in 2007 already had this technology and upgraded it, alright? What have you been doing? Why have you wasted your time creating something that clearly already exists? I mean, look at the quality of this frame of Spider-Man in Spider-Man 3 on the Nintendo DS, alright? Just incredible, alright? Just immaculate, alright? You cannot get better graphics than this game anywhere else, alright? Now let's next thing I have to talk about this game is the combat, okay? All games that have ever existed, alright, usually play on the controller, okay? Sometimes on the DS, some games would kind of include touchscreen capability. Well, not capabilities, but touchscreen controls. So you could also use the buttons on the DS, but you could also use the touchscreen, right? And as a little kid, you'd feel great. But no, see, Spider-Man 3 is just so advanced. It was so ahead of its time that the game completely runs from the touchscreen, okay? The only thing you do with buttons is you move the D-pad or the joystick, whatever you know, depending on what DS you have, all right, you just use that to move around. Everything else is done from touchscreen. No other game is so advanced that you need a touchscreen to use it, okay? See, let's take God of War, for example. You know God of War on the PS4? All right, pretty good game, yeah, it's all right. But only, you know what? You only have a couple of options, all right? You have a dash button, you have a right hook button, you have a button to use your axe, you have a button to use the bloody blades, the fire blades. You know what? Spider-Man 3 is so advanced. It has so many combos, so many fluctuations, so many ways you can beat the shit out of people that they couldn't even put it in buttons. That's how advanced it is, okay? They needed a touch screen for that shit, all right? See, this is what I mean. This is what I'm talking about, okay? What have you been doing? Why, you know, gaming has kind of gone backwards instead. It made a mass, you know, Spider-Man 3 back in 2007, all right? Incredible breakthrough for gaming, all right? And all the way to 2021, all right? It's just gone backwards. The progress has gone backwards. Nothing has been, you know, nothing even comes close to being as good as Spider-Man 3. Okay, and, you know, the final thing, you know, that we can talk about in, you know, for this amazing breakthrough game, Jesus Christ. The last thing we can talk about is the story, okay? Story is just, it's incredible, all right? It's a masterpiece, all right? The story follows our boy Peter Parker, you know, just, you know, now he's been Spider-Man for 3 movies now, and he gets his black suit, all right, and his black suit turns him evil, all right, and then he starts, you know, being distant towards the people he cares about the most. He beats the shit out of his best friend, and you know, that it's one cutscene. I mean, you know, all he does is really just knock him off his glider, and then he falls onto the ground. Well, that's in this game at least, and then he just takes him to the hospital, and he disappears for the entire game. Never to be seen again until the end. Excuse me. Until the last boss fight, and then he dies. But anyways, all right. So it's just like, you know, just the duality of man. All right, like, you know what, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, all right, don't have shit on Spider-Man 3 and their theme of duality of man, right? You got Pete Parker, right? He's, you know, nice lad, right? He's a good guy, right? Cares about the people close to him, okay? Then he gets his black suit, and then he becomes a piece of shit that doesn't care about anyone, okay? But it also makes him stronger, all right? You beat the shit out of people with the normal red suit in this game, all right? You won't get anything done. You'll keep on dying over and over again. You get the black suit, all right? And you just relentlessly just take away their health, all right? Everyone who sees you will die if you're wearing a black suit, okay? Red suit don't do shit, all right? That's the whole point, all right? See, you get power, but you also become a piece of shit. But you don't have power, but you're also a nice guy, right? It's like real life, okay? See, if you have power, you're a piece of shit. Why do you think all the Catholics, well, not Catholics, no, Jesus Christ, not Catholics. So why do you think all the priests are nonces, okay? Because they have a lot of power, so they become a piece of shit, all right? And you've got people that are non-priests, all right? With no power, regular living people, right? They're not nonces because they have no power. Do you see what I'm trying to say? It's very close to real life, all right? No story has ever come this close to being real life. Do you know what I mean? You got Red Dead 2, right? Long story, you know? Took God knows how long for Rockstar to make it, all right? And the story is just so long. It's just a long story, you know? It doesn't come close to being as good as fucking Spider-Man 3's story, all right? It's crazy, like, you know, we haven't made any advancements as a society since this game came out. It's bloody ridiculous. So, you know, the final note, you know, the thing I want to let you, like, as, you know, the audience, I want to let you, like, off with, like, what I want you to learn from this video, right, is if you're looking to pre-order a PS5, right, you know what, you want to cancel that, all right? You got excited for the new God of War that's coming out that was teased during PS5's fucking live stream. Might want to cancel that as well. Any hopes of buying that? The only game you will ever need to play in your life is Spider-Man 3 for the Nintendo DS. That is it. That's it. That's all you'll need in your life, all right? Your life will be complete after playing that.